Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. Match day 4. Absolutely crazy. Like, I'm so confused until now. Believe me or not, I've still not yet decided on my wildcard team. I did not want to play the wildcard this match day, but I've been forced to play the wildcard. One, because obviously Haaland is a doubt. Bellingham is a doubt as well. Odegaard is a doubt in my team as well. Felix has been benched. I'm not so sure whether Doku is going to start. And there's another player, sixth player, I think Thuram or someone. So I've basically had to play my wildcard. And I'm going to be picking players live. I'm going to reveal like 10 players, hopefully before the deadline hits. I already have 4 on screen at this moment. That's my goalkeepers remain the same. That is Ramiro and Blaswich. And also Cancelo and Rom remain in my team as well. Those ones are not changing. If you're just joining, make sure to hit the like button. Send in your questions as always. I'm going to be revealing a player it's written 10 minutes, but every like 7 to 8 minutes, I'm going to be revealing a player. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hello, Ray, nice seeing you, man. Let's see. Hello, Bilal, how are you? Nice seeing you. Hello, how are you? Favor. Ray says I've also decided to play my wildcard. Yeah, I've had to as well. Like it's I've had to play my wildcard. I didn't want to play my wildcard. I wanted to play it in match day 5, but I have been forced because I have like 6-7 players who are doubts that I'm not really sure about. Ray says Blaswich, Sommer, Dumfries, Di Lorenzo, Rico Lewis, Cancelo, Rome, Simmons, Thuram, Jude, Sane, Mendes, Kane, Haaland, Morata. Anything you might suggest to change? I've seen another comment from you. Update Haaland to Vinicius, Jude to Musiala, Dumfries to Nacho. Now, I'm really thinking about going without Bellingham. But, man, that would be a disaster. Let me tell you, like if I take out Haaland and Bellingham and any of you take out Haaland and Bellingham, and then Haaland starts even for 45 minutes, he will be in big trouble. Even Bellingham against Braga at home, that is a massive risk. If they were playing on Tuesday, if Bellingham was playing on Tuesday, I'd be really happy to take the risk. But the fact that they're not playing on Tuesday and they're playing on Wednesday is also a massive risk because I don't want to miss out on those assets playing for Man City and Real Madrid. I don't want that to happen. I want to have at least 2 players from each of those teams. And I don't want to find myself in a situation where I don't have any Man City attacking player and I don't have any Real Madrid attacking player. That is a problem. So Ray asks any changes you'd make. Not really the forward line. I think in terms of Haaland, I think it has to be your own personal risk-taking level of risk-taking. Are you willing to risk it and going without Haaland because it's a doubt, or are you too scared of going without Haaland? I think that is a personal choice. Midfield, I don't mind it. I'm not sure about Thuram, though, unless it's been confirmed that I'm really not sure about Thuram. He might end up being benched. I prefer the other players like Çalhanoğlu if you have the money to go to him, or maybe even Rodri from Man City, or maybe even Xavi Simons. You can afford him. I really don't like Thuram because also he's away from home to Salzburg. Rome, I don't mind Cancelo, Lewis, Lorenzo, Dumfries. Dumfries, there's rumors about Dumfries being benched, so that is also a problem. So I would, you've gone for Nacho instead. Nacho, will he definitely start? Again, a bit of a problem. I'd try and go for a different Inter Milan defender, maybe a Bastoni or someone. Bilal says, my team on a limitless chip, Ederson, Kepa, Molina, Di Lorenzo, Saliba, Rom, Cancelo. If he plays, he is playing. Bilal, he is starting. Kvaratskhelia, Saka, Sane, Foden, Mendes, Kane, Vinicius, Alvarez. That looks good to me. You've taken the risk of going without Bellingham and Haaland. Hopefully it works out for you. But for that team, I do like that team. Kunde might play. No, Kunde's on the bench. Ray. I also have Cancelo. I didn't have Cancelo, but I think did I have him? I mean, now I have him either way. I do have Cancelo in my team. As you can see, is the first pick I had in my defense. I'm going to be revealing a player every single 10 minutes. Kunde and Cancelo both starting. Kunde is not starting. Let me just read the team news out. Let me see. How are you, FIFA bots? Nice seeing you here again. Your Abubakar lineups are out. Glenn for Newcastle and Barcelona matches. I'm just about to check. I saw Trippier starting, Wilson as always. So Barcelona lineup, we have Ter Stegen in goal. We have Marcos Alonso is playing at left back. So if you're playing a limitless chip just for 1 week, you can take the risk and go for him. Christensen, Araujo, Cancelo at the back. Midfield of Gavi, Oriol Romeo, and Gundogan. I think Gundogan has gone up in price around 8.2 or something. Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Ferran Torres up front. So no Joao Felix. I had played my wildcard even before knowing Joao Felix on the bench, and that just makes my decision even more certain because I was definitely going to play my wildcard considering Joao Felix has also been benched. Newcastle, Dortmund, Newcastle, Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Lascelles, Joelinton, Wilson, Hall, Livramento, Willock, Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, Dortmund, Kobel, Schlotterbeck, Oscar, Macha, Fulkrug, Hamels, Brandt, Sabitzer, Sola, Ryerson, and Adeyemi in the squad. So I'm not really considering any Dortmund or Newcastle players. I might in the last minute, but let's see. But those are the lineups from Barcelona. Lewandowski, if you're playing your limitless, I would probably go for Lewandowski because I mean, I think I saw him getting subbed off early the other day for Barcelona. That's the only worry. But if you're playing a wildcard, I don't think you can afford Lewandowski, especially if you're going for players like Harry Kane and all those guys. It would be difficult. So let me reveal my fifth player in the team. I've gone for, so far, my defenders, I have Cancelo and Rom. My goalkeepers, I'm sticking with Ramiro and Blaswitz. So I have gone for 2 Leipzig defenders as always. Now, the one thing before I reveal the next player, the couple of things you need to consider. If you're playing your wildcard right now and you don't have a limitless chip, you have to really consider like a game week, match day 5 and match day 6 as well. Because, for example, right now, if you go for 3 Bayern Munich players and 3 Real Madrid players and 3 Man City players, you're going to have a huge problem in match day 6 because I'm expecting Barcelona, Real Madrid, probably even Napoli, Bayern Munich, and a 5th team. Let's start like that again. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Napoli, Barcelona, and Man City. Those 5 teams, I'm expecting them to already go through by match day 6, so they could rest players. So if you have Haaland, Bellingham, Vinicius, it's a bit of a problem. So if you're playing your wildcard right now, also take a look at match day 5 and 6. That is why maybe consider players from Inter Milan, Real Sociedad, those teams that still have something to play for and would still have something to play for until the final day. Even Arsenal's group, even Man United, maybe a player or something like that. Those groups, Real Madrid's group, maybe an FC Porto player, those teams that could go or could be fighting for something until the final day. FIFA bot says in my lineup, Kunde benched, Haaland and Bellingham injured. Thuram, Kimmich, Lewandowski not in form, suggest me 2 transfers. I would actually keep Kimmich because he was He was suspended for the last Bundesliga game, so I think he's definitely going to start. And he does take some corners and free kicks, so he can still get an assist. I think so far this season he already has a Player of the Match award and also an assist. So it's not the end of the world, FIFA bots. I think you can keep Kimmich. Lewandowski, even if he's not in form, I would keep him. He's playing against Shakhtar. I don't think that is a huge deal for now. I would keep both of those players. Thuram is a concern. Bellingham, Haaland. I think I would transfer out Haaland, to be honest, because they have Chelsea this weekend. I think there's no need of playing him against Young Boys. And even if he plays, it could be like 45 minutes. So I would be taking out Haaland and bringing in Alvarez, depending on any other Man City player that you have. So I would be bringing in Alvarez for Haaland and then maybe Thuram out for another Bayern Munich player. Sane, Musiala, all those guys in midfield could work. So let me reveal my third player. Let me go to midfield. No, not midfield. Let me go to striking. Of course, I'm going to have this player as a striker, forward. Where is he? Harry Kane is definitely in my team. That one is definitely my team. That is the fifth player revealed already. My wildcard is active, not by choice, but I've basically been forced to play my wildcard. Keep sending in your questions. I'll answer all of them. Yes, I'm risking because Vinicius is close to Haaland for the next 3 weeks. Says Ray. Baron says Kane, Haaland, Vinicius, Simmons, Bellingham, Rodri, Chananoglu, Kim, Cancelo, Rom, Blasic, Soma, Di Lorenzo, Jimenez, Dumfries. Just used 2 transfers. Oh, well, this is actually a decent team having already used your 2 transfers, obviously apart from the doubts in Haaland and Bellingham. Goalkeepers look fine. Defenders, we know Cancelo is starting. I think Rom will definitely start. Di Lorenzo will definitely start. I mean, he do have like 3 problems still. Dumfries, there's rumors about him being on the bench, so that is a problem. And also Haaland and Bellingham. Something is telling me one of between Haaland and Bellingham is going to play. I don't know why. I feel like one of them is not going to play and one of them is going to play. Predicting who, it's very, very tough. The predicted lineups are putting Bellingham in the team, but I'm not sure if he's going to be risked. For sure, I know Haaland might not play because he's playing Chelsea this weekend. I'm not sure which team Real Madrid are playing this next weekend, but maybe he's going to be rested, surely. Maybe he can play a part in that game. It's not the end of the world, that team, but even if you have 13 players, I think it's still good, even if Haaland doesn't play or Bellingham doesn't play. Now you really have to pick the correct captain, especially if you have 12 or 13 players. You really have to pick the correct captain. So players like Harry Kane and Cancelo really help you this week. Xavi Simons as well and Vinicius. So I don't mind that team. I wouldn't take a hit. I don't like taking hits, man. If you're asking about hits, I'm one person that does not like hits. I've been playing FPL since 2015. That is 8 seasons. And I've only ever taken 3 hits. So that shows you I do not like hits. So Champions League Fantasy, I have never taken a hit. And I don't think I'll ever take a hit. Even if it means playing with 11 players only, I would prefer that. Is Saliba a good option, says FIFA bots? I think so, because Arsenal have back-to-back home games against Sevilla and Lens. Alan says, hi Glenn, nice seeing you as well. Brother Andre says, hi Glenn, who would you pick? Bruno Fernandes, Odegaard, or Kvaratskhelia? Odegaard did not train today, so I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. Bruno Fernandes, I just don't like picking Man United players at all, especially this season. In FPL, I've not had any Man United players all season, and in Champions League Fantasy as well. I don't think Copenhagen away will be an easy game for them. If Man United win, I think they're going to win like 1. It's going to be a 1-1 or something. So that is quite an easy question for now. I'm going to say Kvaratskhelia at home to Union Berlin. Union Berlin have been losing game after game after game. They have been conceding goals after goal after goal. So I would go for Kvaratskhelia. And since Osimhen is not there, maybe we could see Kvaratskhelia going forward even more. I've already chosen Bellingham, Çalhanoğlu, Timber, and Kimmich. That looks good. Greetings from Israel. Nice seeing you as always, Alan. Christian says, England best replacement for Jude, Gundogan, Mendes, or Stengs. It would be between Gundogan and Mendes for me, and I'll just go for Mendes because he has a home fixture. Jevob says, hi Glenn, how are you? With Haaland in doubt, should I replace him with Lewandowski, Alvarez, or another player? Depends on the rest of your team, Andres. If you already have another Man City player, maybe Foden or Doku in midfield, then I would go for Lewandowski. But if you don't have any Man City players at all, I would go for Alvarez in place of Haaland. Man City are playing at home against Young Boys. You just know that is 4+ goals. And I'm not guaranteed. It's not a guarantee that Barcelona are going to score more than 2 goals, for example, today. It could easily be 1-0 or 2-1 or something. Jacob says, good evening. Do you think that today is the best day for Limitless because all good teams have good fixtures? There's that, but there's also the fact that there's so many players injured, so it puts you in a good position. If you're playing a Limitless, you can go for all the players who are not out. So that's another reason. Abubakar says, suggest a differential midfielder. I would say Brais Mendes. Let me confirm his ownership at the moment. Real Sociedad. I've been trying to look at FC Porto midfielders. They lost the other day, FC Porto at home to, I think, Estoril or something. I've been looking at their midfield. I'm not really sure. I'm also considering going with the player from FC Porto, but I don't know who. Brais Mendes is selected by 12%, so not really quite a differential that much. I think it was like 8% or something the other day. So I don't think. Do you consider that a differential enough, Abubakar? Let me know. If not, I could pick another one. Sommer isn't cancelled, says Nana's called him cancelled. Saliba, Davies, Rom, Odegaard is injured, man. Jude, Gordon. Would you play Limitless or use transfers ±4? I don't like taking hits in the Champions League fantasy because when you take a hit in FPL, that is understandable because like there's a lot of weeks that are coming up and that player can help you. But Champions League fantasy is like 1 week, 2 weeks. So that taking that hit might not help you at all. You might actually lose out, and you might even end up not using that player bringing on if he's playing on the Wednesday and all the other players deliver. So let me see the rest of your team. Would you play Limitless or use transfers? So Sommer, Cancelo, Saliba, Davis, Rom, Odegaard, Jude, Gordon. But I've never known how to say that name. Sane, Kane, Haaland, Morata. I mean, this team looks. Have you already used your transfers, Nana? If you've already used your transfers, I mean, I'm happy with Morata. I'm happy with Kane, Sane, even Gordon. Is Gordon playing? Gordon. I don't think Gordon is playing. Gordon. Yeah, Gordon is not in the lineup for Newcastle, so that is another problem. So you have problems with Odegaard, Jude, Gordon. I also don't like Davis at all this season in terms of attacking. I was expecting more. I wouldn't really take a -4. And Haaland is also a doubt. So you have like 4 problems. I'd be very tempted to play the Limitless with that, Nana. You'd be able to get maybe Alvarez into the team. You'd be able maybe even to fit in Musiala in the team. You'd be able to get a player from Inter Milan. You might even go for Gundogan if you prefer. You might go for Kvaratskhelia. So I would be tempted to play the Limitless, Nana. Arling to Alvarez says, Abubakar, yes. What do you think of Evan Nilsson? I've considered him because I really want a player from FC Porto. Obviously, it's him or Taremi, one of them, because Galeno is injured. I would go for him. If you want to go for him, go for him. I'd definitely consider going for him. The only problem for me, I'm trying to think between Alvarez and him, and I really don't know who to choose. But they are playing Royal Antwerp at home. They scored 4 goals last time, so I think that's a very good pick. Should I take Kane or Vinicius? I think Kane for sure. If you could take both, I'd go for both FIFA bots for real. I'd definitely go for both if you could afford both, or if there's a way you can go for both. But I'd go for Kane first. I'm not sure to take out yet, and if it's worth taking a hit, I need to take out Galeno and possibly Haaland, Jude, and Dumfries. Man, that's a lot of players, Alan. Yeah, you definitely can't go ahead with that team. And it's too many risks. If you've already used your 2 transfers again, that is like a lesson for the future weeks for everyone. Like, never use your transfers early. Like, you rather wait until that Tuesday, unless you're not sure if you're going to be close to a laptop or a phone or in a position where you can change your team. At least use it that Monday, because injuries and suspensions can occur and you're going to be in a bit of trouble if you already used your 2 transfers, especially if you already played your Limitless and Wildcard. That becomes a problem. So if you already made your 2 transfers and you don't have any chips, Alan, in that situation, maybe I'd be tempted to take a hit. But if you can actually field like 12 players, I'd be happy to go with 12 players if you're in a desperate situation, just to avoid the hit. I think Bellingham will play, says Baron. I have a feeling as well, because the shoulder injury is nothing to do with the leg or anything like that. He might end up playing. Doku, Foden, or Brais Mendes. Doku and Ford. I mean, if you are sure about who Pep Guardiola is going to play, it would be the Man City players. But for now, I'm going to go for Mendes. I'd actually be very tempted to take two of those as well, FIFA bots. Vinicius or Morata, I'd go for Vinicius. Christian Foden or Doku, I'd go for Foden. Ryan says Ford, Haaland, Alvarez, Openda, midfield, Xavi, Simons, Sane, Bellingham, Gundogan, Thuram. So we already have a few problems there in Haaland, Bellingham, Thuram, even Ake. Even Ake, they could end up starting Akanji. Diaz was on the bench the other day. Gvardiol didn't play the other day as well. They could go with the youngster as well, Rico. So a few problems there, Anthony. 2 free transfers to go. So you're in a good position, Rehan, at least. I'd be tempted to take out Haaland because you already have Alvarez. I think they almost got the same number of points most of the week. So I'd be willing to take out Haaland and bring in Harry Kane. I think you need Harry Kane in that team. He's exploding right now. I think he's already scored 3 hat-tricks in Bundesliga already. Crazy. I think you have to have Kane instead of Haaland. And then maybe Thuram out for maybe a Man City player, another Man City player, maybe a Doku or Foden, whoever you prefer, maybe even Rodri. There's also other players like Mendes from Real Sociedad if you prefer. You can go for Çalhanoğlu from Inter Milan if you prefer. Brandon says, how's the team? Ter Stegen, Sommer, Dumfries could be benched. Lewis, Cancelo, Ram, Saliba, Musiala, Simons. I like the midfield, obviously, apart from Bellingham. Not because Bellingham is not good. Bellingham is very good, is the first pick, but because he's an injury doubt. Alvarez, Jimenez, Kane. I actually do like this team. If you have a free transfer or something, if are you using a chip or something, if you are, I don't think this is a limitless chip. So your team looks good because most of us have teams that are all over the place. So I'd be tempted to, if you're playing like a chip, I'd be tempted to take out Bellingham. But if you take out Bellingham, you have to get another Real Madrid player. That's the problem. Either Vinicius or Rodrigo or Valverde or someone if you don't have Bellingham in the team. Just in case if Bellingham plays, at least you have one of those forward players as well. For this week, I'd be tempted to take out Jimenez for Rodrigo because Jimenez is around that price. I'd be very tempted to take out Bellingham. Let me know are you playing a chip or something, Brandon? Brandon, should I replace Jude with someone? Yes, but as I said, you have to find a way to get in another Real Madrid player. Let me know if you're using a chip. Saliba or Davies, I'd go for Saliba. Bayern Munich are conceding every single game in the Champions League, and Saliba has back-to-back home games. I do think Galatasaray will score. Would you keep or sell Jude and Haaland? I'd potentially sell Haaland because I feel like he's not going to play this week. Jude is a 50-50. Do you remember someone took Maguire on his birthday and he really got 14 points? I remember that question very well. When Maguire scored that question, someone literally last stream said, I'm thinking of going with Maguire for my birthday. And I was like, are you sure you want to go for Maguire on your birthday? And Maguire scored and he kept a clean sheet and they had a penalty saved in the last minute. Like, how lucky can you get? Like, where is that guy? I need to see that guy again, man. He must be the luckiest guy in this world. Didn't use the two transfers. Galena is out and one of them out. So is Alan's team again. I'm not sure who to take out yet. If he's taking a hit, you need to take out Galena and possibly Haaland, Jude, and Dumfries. Galena is definitely out, so I would definitely take him out first. There's other players you can go for. You can go for Kimmich from Bayern Munich around that price. If you have enough money in the bank, you can go for maybe a Musiala or someone like that. Maguire showed his capabilities, says Afnan. Yeah, just for one match day, though. I'm not sure I'd be going for him for this next match day away to Copenhagen and away to Galatasaray. Best captains for both match days. You mean both days? I'd go for Man City player, maybe Julian Alvarez. And then the next day, I mean, it would be so easy to say the Real Madrid players. I'd go for Vinicius. Let me say Vinicius and Alvarez. Who do you think will score City Young Boys? Oh, take your pick, Baron. So many. I think Alvarez will definitely score. I'm going to go for Alvarez. I'm going to go for Foden. I'm even going to go for Doku to score from the bench or something like that. I think they're going to score 4+ goals. Hoselu or Evan definitely. I'm not even sure Hoselu will start. They could go for. I mean, obviously, if Bellingham is not there, they could start with Hoselu up front. I'm not really impressed about Hostel in the Champions League. I'm not really sure. So I'd go for Evan FC Port. It's between Haaland and Dumfries. If Haaland, I'm probably getting Kane. If Dumfries, then I don't know. Dumfries will be on the bench. He could be on the bench. He might still come on. Are they playing today? They're playing today, right? Let me see. Inter Milan. Are they playing today or today? They're playing tomorrow, I think. Chananoglu, let me see. When are they playing? Oh, they're playing tomorrow. That's a huge risk. I'd potentially take out Haaland today, Alan. I'd take out Haaland for Kane. That is what I'd do. I think you need to have Kane in your team either way. Seen your message already, Jairam. No spamming. I'm playing the wildcard, says Brandon. Okay. So Stegen, Sommer, Dumfries. Okay, definitely take out Dumfries because if you're playing your wildcard, Dumfries might not play. If you want another Inter Milan midfield, another Inter Milan defender, just go for Bastoni. I think he's been confirmed to play. Chananoglu, Mendes, Bellingham, Simmons. I mean, if you're playing a wildcard, I'd be happy to risk Bellingham. No problem with risking Bellingham for this match day. Although, if he doesn't play, you're going to have a long day watching that Real Madrid game because they're going to score like 3 goals and you don't have any Real Madrid cover. To be honest, I'd take out Jimenez and bring in either Vinicius or Rodrigo. And then I'd, maybe if you don't have enough money, maybe take out Bellingham and bring in someone cheaper like a Rodri or someone from Man City, someone like that. Musiala, Simmons, Saliba, Rom, Cancelo. I mean, if you take Dumfries out as well, you can get a bit of money to save to bring in Vinicius or Rodrigo for Jimenez. I think that's what I do. You can also bring in Morata if you can't afford Vinicius. Let's see. Jeremy's desperate for his question to be answered. Sommer, Blasic, Bastoni, Cancelo, Silva, Di Lorenzo, Ake, Bellingham, Chananoglu, Sane, Kimmich, Ivanovic, Haaland, Kane, Felix. Felix is not playing, man. With 2 transfers in wildcard, what moves do you suggest? -4 an option 2, please answer. Jeremy has a -4 as an option as well. You still have your wildcard. You still have your 2 transfers, correct? Okay, let me see. If you still have your 2 transfers, I'd start by taking out Haaland and bringing in Alvarez from Man City. I'd also take out Felix and potentially bring in can you afford? I think if you take out Haaland, you can bring in Vinicius. If you take out Felix, you can bring in Alvarez. I think you can afford that, Jerome. That is what I'd do. I'd bring in Alvarez and Alvarez as Man City cover and Vinicius as Real Madrid cover for Haaland and Felix. And I think I'd be willing to go with the rest of the team the way it is, Jerome. No need to take a -4. Will Lewandowski score, says Johnny? I would say yes. Do you think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet, says Bilal? I mean, I predicted 3-1, so I think Arsenal will concede. So, no. Is there any news about Arsenal lineup for Sevilla? Any changes in defense? White, Saliba? Yeah, I think White and Saliba will definitely play. I don't think we have too many defenders. So I think White, Saliba, Gabriel, and potentially Tomiyasu will play. Odegaard is not there. So if you're willing to take risks, as an Arsenal fan, I know Havertz or Trossard, one of them is going to start that game. So if you have Trossard or Havertz or someone, if you're willing to bet on Havertz scoring, go for it. Go for it or Trossard. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I think Nketiah is also injured. I think Jesus is injured. Odegaard is injured. So maybe if you want an Arsenal player, maybe Saka or Martinelli. The only problem with Martinelli is he's a forward player in the game. He's put as a forward and not a midfielder, so that is a problem. But yeah, defense is nailed down. White and Saliba will play. Saliba 100%, Ben White 80%. That luckiest person, says Afnan. Afnan was the guy. That was your birthday. We need the lottery numbers, bro. We need the lottery numbers. That was a very good pick. Are you on the Everything Football League? I need to look at your team. Let me know which position you are. Greetings from Panama, says Alejandro. Thank you for watching. Bueno. Damien is set to take Damien is set to take Dumfries' place. Cheap, great option too. Yeah, it's very cheap. Will he definitely start though? Bastoni, they have multiple defenders who can play there. I don't know how fit Cuadrado is as well, but yeah, I'm assuming Damien will play and is very cheap as well. I've never known how to say that name, Johnny, but yes, decent option. Doku or Alvarez, I'd go for Alvarez, Baron. How can I contact you? Says Haaland. The link is in the description on Twitter. Last week I played Limitless. Would you choose the other wildcard? I mean, depends on how your team is looking. If your team is in a bad place, you have like 5-6 players you're not sure about, then you have to play a wildcard. Sometimes I usually don't like playing them back to back in back-to-back match days. But if you have a problems with your team, you have to. So if it depends on how your team is looking, Johnny. But if you have like 12, 13 players, you don't really have to, because you might need that. You might need it later on in the group stages. Haaland started. I don't know if he's going to start. I don't think so though. Went to take Kane, but I already took Kimmich, Upamecano, and Son. And now if I take Kane, then I have to remove Kimmich. You already have Son. I mean, I actually don't think any of those players can cover for Kane. Kane can easily score a hat-trick again. That's the problem. Kane is very explosive. If you're playing a wildcard or Limitless, I'd definitely go for Kane in the team. I would take out Upamecano because I think Galatasaray will score. I can afford Saka, Bruno, Kvaratskhelia. Thinking of making -4. Who do I bring in? I don't like -4s, Jerome. I really don't like -4s. But if you're really thinking about going for it, I'd go for Kvaratskhelia. Will Haaland play? I doubt. I can afford that one. Do I transfer out Haaland and Bellingham if I got them? Depends. If you're on a wildcard, yes. If you're using transfers, I wouldn't take like a -4 to transfer them out. No, I'd be happy to take the risk on Bellingham starting. But if you're on a Limitless or wildcard, I would take them out, but have a plan of how you're going to bring in one of them next time, at least one of them back into the team. There's a chance Haaland and Man City could go through to this week, and he might not even play the next 2 games. But again, if let's say they draw today or not win, or Leipzig wins again, they still have to fight for top of the table or top of the group. So they'll still play their strongest team in match day 5. So yeah, you can transfer them out, but have a plan of at least bringing one of them back in, because I think Bellingham will play next game. Are you wildcarding or just making transfers? I'm wildcarding, Naeem, and since you say that, let me reveal my next player. My next player in the team, do this. So far I have Cancelo, Rom, Ramiro, Blaswich, and Kane. I've actually been going for 20 minutes, so I'm going to reveal 2 players, and I'm going to reveal one defender here. I have gone for Napoli. Di Lorenzo is in my team for this week. Nice seeing you again in my team. I've had Di Lorenzo the last season. This season I've not had him. He's in my team now. And midfield-wise, my first midfielder in the team, I'm sticking to my my top midfielder from the last match day. That is where is he? Midfield. Chananoglu is in my team. So this is how my wildcard is looking at the moment. Blaswich, Ramiro in goal. Defense, Cancelo, Rom, and Di Lorenzo so far. Midfield, Chananoglu. Up front, Kane. So those are 7 players. I'm going to reveal like another 4 more. Let's see. You think Haaland gets playing time tomorrow? He might get playing time, but not so much. The only worry with Haaland, he might even play for 20 minutes and he can score a hat-trick. But I'm very tempted to go without him, to be honest. Trippier says, John, I think Dortmund will score, but Trippier is very good in terms of set pieces and all that. He's a bit expensive, though, and I feel there's better defenders in terms of picking up points like Cancelo. But in terms of differential, I think it could be a differential. I have 2 free transfers. Can I carry the transfers for next match day? 1 transfer carries or 2. You can only carry 1 transfer, Rehan. That's the other thing. If you've already played your Limitless and you're playing your wildcard, I'd at least look at this match day in match day 5 as well. So that next match day in match day 5, you only use one transfer unless injuries and suspensions occur, then you can't do anything about it. If you're playing a wildcard right now and you don't have a limitless chip as well, I'd be willing to use only one transfer next time, so that going into match day 6, you have 3 transfers, because you're going to need it. There's going to be a lot of rotation in match day 6. So at least even if you take a -4 in match day 6, you can still make 4 transfers. So I'd be tempted to carry one from match day 5. That will definitely help you. And even leaving money in the bank, if you have like 1 million in the bank, 1.5 million in the bank, you don't have to use it. That might help you next match days. Should I use a wildcard or just risk point of 2 to 3 players? I'd consider playing the wildcard FIFA, but it's still very early and you don't want to like lose out on the rankings and stuff. You want to like keep up with everyone else. You don't 100 points behind and it becomes impossible to catch up. I'd be, because there's people playing their limitless right now. There's people playing their wildcard. If you go with like 10 players, it becomes a bit of a problem. Nana says best midfielders. That's a very general question, because it depends on the rest of your team. If you already have Alvarez, I'd maybe tell you one man's team midfielder. If you don't have Alvarez, I'd tell you 2 man's team midfielders. Depends on the rest of your team. But I'd maybe say Xavi Simons, Leipzig, Xavi Simons, and then I'd be tempted to also say Sane. Will Ake play? I really doubt. I feel like Vardiol will start on that left side. Best defenders, I'd say Cancelo, Di Lorenzo. Would you transfer out Gordon instead of Bellingham? Yeah, I mean, Gordon is not playing, so yeah, you can transfer him out. I'd transfer him out fast, because him is guaranteed is not playing. Bellingham, you're not sure yet. Jerome says, thinking of backtracking on the -4, because all 3 seem to be inconsistent right now, and I'd want Haaland and Jude back later, so I just bench Jude. I mean, if you're willing, then that's fine. Hopefully, though, like you have a Man City player or Real Madrid player, because I think it's very dangerous going without a Real Madrid player and a Man City player, and that is why that's the main reason I've played the main reason I've played my wildcard is because I had like 6-7 players who are doubts, and some of them on the bench, like Joao Felix. But the reason number 2 is because I could not go without a Man City player and a Real Madrid player, and I only had Bellingham and Haaland, and if they don't play, it becomes a problem, because other people will have Vinicius, other people have all those players, and it becomes a problem. But I also don't like -4s with that said. Do I bring in Lewis? I don't think Ake will play, and even Lewis is at risk. I mean, you could also go without a Man City defender and hope young boys score and go with the other teams like Barcelona and Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid. But if you want a Man City defender, I mean, I know you could be looking for cheaper ones, but I think Ruben Diaz will play. I think that's the only one I'm 100% sure about. Will Bellingham, Galen, and Firmin play? No, Galen is definitely out. The other 2 risks. I have a wildcard left to use my limitless, says Rehan. Yeah, so as I said, like you also look into match day 5 and 6 as well when you're making your team for the wildcard. Captain who, I'd go for Alvarez today. I'm stuck on who to bring in for Dumfries. Either Akanji, already have Rico. Yeah, I wouldn't double up on Man City's defense. Kim, Damian, Christensen, Simekan already have Rom. Or if you have any other options with only 5.3 available, so I've said Kim, Damian, Christensen, Simekan. Those are your defenders. Already have Rom. Or either Akanji, okay. In either Akanji, Kim, Damian, Christensen, Simekan. I would go for, you already have Rom, so I wouldn't go for Simekan. I don't like Bayern's defense. I think Galatasaray will score. And if you already have Rico, so that's kind of made it easier to answer that question. I'd go for Damian. Let me check Barcelona's team again. Is Christensen playing? Who's in the defense for Barcelona? Let me check Barcelona's defense again. I mean, there's rumors going around, I'm just checking Twitter right now. There's a lot of rumors going around that Bellingham could play. Christensen is playing, so interesting. I'd go for Damian first and then Christensen second, Brandon from that list. Got Ban and Galeno injured. Bellingham and Haaland are doubts. Felix is on the bench. My goodness, I'm back to that. I feel like crying just reading that. Got 2 free transfers and 0.7 million. Considering doing Ban to Rome, what else would you suggest? Ban to Rome, 100% do that. And then potentially move Galeno. How much is Galeno right now? Galeno FC Porto. Porto. I want to see if you can afford is 6.8 million. Okay, so if it's 6.8 million, I'd be tempted to take out Galeno if you have 0.7 million for either Xavi Simons or Mendes from Real Sociedad, one of those players. Ban for Ram, definitely do that. So those are the first I'd do. Felix is on the bench as well, though. My goodness. Do you have a wildcard or limitless? But this is screaming player wildcard right now. This is screaming player wildcard. Those are too many risks. But if for Ban, yes, bring on Rom, and for Galeno, maybe Xavi Simons or Mendes. Yes, Johnny. Lewandowski or Vinicius, no idea how to captain for today. Captaining, I mean, Vinicius, they're playing tomorrow, right? If you're asking who you want to have between those two, I'd go for Vinicius. Captain, Man City player, maybe Alvarez. Kimmich, suggest me. I actually don't mind keeping Kimmich for this week, to be honest. I would consider taking out Upamecano. FIFA bots, let me know. Let me see. Whom to make out. Let me know who the rest of your defense is. And there's so many comments, I keep losing them. Whom to make captain today, Xavi Simons. I'll go for Alvarez because, I mean, I think he trusts Man City more. And Xavi Simons is away from home. Limitless thoughts. You're so lucky, Pedro. Like, you have your limitless. Like, most of us are just crying here trying to figure out a team. And Pedro has his limitless chip. Diego Costa, Soma Diaz, Rico Lewis, Di Lorenzo, Oliveira, Trippier, Foden, Saka, Çalhanoğlu, Kvaratskhelia, Sane, Kane, Jimenez, Mbappe. I would definitely go for a Real Madrid player, Pedro. I would definitely consider going for a Real Madrid player. If you're playing a limitless, to be honest, I know Jimenez is on form, but I'd back Lazio not to concede too many goals. I'd seriously go for Vinicius instead of Jimenez. And Çalhanoğlu, Simons for 1 week. Xavi Simons. Lopez or Doku, I'd go for Doku. Who would you sell out of Thuram? I've never known how to say the second name. Let me just call him Baron, Davis, and Dumfries. I'd sell Dumfries because he's the one who's kind of confirmed not to be playing. -8. Oh, I don't like taking hits in the Champions League, especially -8. -8 for Galeno, Kvaratskhelia, and McTominay for Emery. McTominay! Wait, do you have McTominay? Are you bringing him in? -8 for Galeno to Kvaratskhelia. McTominay and Emery. I'd not be taking a hit for any of those guys. I know McTominay has been scoring goals. I know Emery has been doing good for PSG. But hits for any of them, whichever way you want to do it, I'd not be taking a -8, Saha. You can only take a -8 if you have like 7, 8 injuries and you don't have anything else to do. Lewandowski or Vinicius, not much captaincy options in my team besides Alvarez or Cancelo. Then Lewandowski or Vinicius. Captaincy, Alvarez. Mendes or Gavi, I'd go for Mendes. Would you take out Haaland? I would do it, yes. Wildcard, the Bellingham one is now the one I'm not sure. Wildcard and Limitless play, did Ban and Galeno to Rome and Mendes. By the way, if I've answered your question so far, make sure to hit the like button and help the channel out. Wildcard and Limitless played. Wow. Did Bant Galeno to Rome and Mendes. That looks good, but as long as you have like at least 12 players in your situation, I'd be happy to go with that. Best 5 midfielders, Limitless. Man, that is hard. Maybe I'd say Sane, definitely. That's a tough one. I'd go for Sane and Musiala, actually, both of them if you play on a Limitless. I did a Limitless video, but I'm sure included players who are now injured. I'd go for Man City midfielder, maybe Foden. I would potentially go for maybe Çalhanoğlu from Inter Milan. And then the next one, it really depends. I'd be willing to say maybe take a differential, maybe someone like a Gundogan or Mendes, one of those. Haaland out for Alvarez. Yes, Baron. Schlotterbeck is one yellow card away from a suspension. Alvi, that's another thing we need to consider. There's some players who, if they pick up a yellow card this time, then they're going to be suspended next match day. So, how many yellow? I'm not sure about how many yellow cards. Let me see. Let's see how many yellow cards Good Trader has. Has he picked up any yellow cards? One yellow card. So, I mean, I don't like the fixtures. I'd go for Gertrude Alvi just because Schlotterbeck is in the group of death and is also one yellow card away from being suspended. I have Haaland, Galeno, Bellingham, and Dumfries injured, says Naim. Whom will you suggest played my wildcard last game week? Also suggest best Porto attacker. A best attacker, I'd go for Evan Nilsson. Haaland, Galeno, Bellingham could still play. So Galeno is definitely out. Dumfries will be on the bench. So I'd take out Galeno and Dumfries. No, actually, I'd take out Haaland and Galeno because Haaland is going to give you a lot of money. So Haaland and Galeno, and then you bring in Alvarez from Man City, and then you choose whichever Bayern Munich midfielder you want between Sane and Musiala for Galeno. Should I go limitless or leave it for later? I would not take a -8 Saha, so I would play the limitless, to be honest. Would you... Who the hell is Saliva? Who the hell is Alive? I've never had a player. Surely there's no player called that. Is there a player called that? If that's a typo, right? I was like, what the hell? There's a player called Alive. Do you mean Bernardo Silva or someone? Let me know. Who should I put instead of Bellingham since he might not play? Xavi Simons, Leipzig. Again, that particular question, Leo, it really depends on how the rest of your team is looking. Because I would not suggest going without any Real Madrid. I'd have at least one Real Madrid player, at least one Man City player, at least one Bayern Munich player. I'm about to reveal my next player. Let's see. Let me reveal my next player. I don't want to be caught out by the deadline. Current squad says Mbappe, Ter Stegen, Sommer. Your goalkeeper's okay. Defensively, I think you can survive with those 4 defenders, and Dumfries might still come on or something like that. Stengs, Siemens, Bellingham, Mendes, Cananoglu, Kane, Haaland, stuck on who to captain today. In terms of who to captain today, I mean, I mean, I know you're in a very tough situation. Who did you bring in, Wombato? Did you say you brought in Mendes? Like, I'm so scared the fact that you don't have any Man City player. I'm so scared for you. So scared. But your situation is different because you've already played your chips and injuries and stuff have happened. I would go for... Today, I'd risk Xavi Simons. He's playing today, right? Yes, I think he's playing today. So I'd go for Xavi Simons from those. Evan Nilsson or Alvarez, and I have Foden, or get Dokin for 2 Man City players. When I have Foden, you have Foden. If you have Foden, I'd still go for Alvarez, though. It's so hard to bet against Man City, Alpha. So hard. I'd still go for Alvarez. Afonso says Alvarez or Lewandowski. I'd go for Alvarez. Speaking of Alvarez, let me tell you who's the next player in my team. Let's go to Man City. Man City. Welcome to my team. Julian Alvarez, a World Cup winner, a Champions League winner, an FA Cup winner, Premier League winner. Julian Alvarez is in my team. Which defender would you bring in if you choose any? If I could choose any, I'd go for David Rom. I would keep Bellingham, read that he is likely to start. I've read that a few times as well. My only worry is, I mean, he might start, but could he get subbed off or something? And it's a Champions League game, so there's a huge chance he will go for him. Because it's not a leg injury, it's not a muscle injury or anything, it's a shoulder injury. And I'd be very scared if Bellingham played and I didn't have him, to be honest. Man City defender, I'd go for Ruben Diaz for this match day. Alvarez or Taremi captain, I'd go for Alvarez. Best midfield under 9.3 says Saha. There's plenty. Xavi Simons, Mendes, Musiala. How's your team looking at the moment? I'm playing my wildcard. Right now, there's 8 players on screen. 8 players on screen. I will reveal 11 of them. Ryan says Saliba. I like him. Still can't decide should I play wildcard or not. I mean, right now, if you're playing a wildcard, you only have 15 minutes, so you have to be very quick. Musiala, Kvaratskhelia already got Sane. I'd go for Kvaratskhelia lead. Do I consider Newcastle forward as a differential captain? Their formation is a bit weird. It looks like they're playing a back five. Let me see. Trippier, Shaw, Lascelles, Hall, Livramento. Those are 5 defenders. And then they're playing Bruno, Longstaff. I'm going to say this. I don't think Newcastle are going to score more than 1 goal. That formation they're playing, I'm not sure. I think they went last time and drew 0-0 with AC Milan. I think they'll be looking for a draw, 0-0. So they could be playing defensive. So I wouldn't go for a forward from Newcastle. I'm sure they're going to play defensive. That's the problem. Captain Alvarez or Mendes or Morata, Alvarez, Foden or Doku, says Afonso. I'll go for Foden for this week. Pavard is injured. Who should I transfer in as the best replacement defender? If you want another Inter Milan defender, I'd go for Bastoni. Merit, yeah, no problem. I mean, I've never really considered the goalkeeper from Napoli, but yeah, if you want him, go for him. I'd prefer Di Lorenzo defensively. Hopefully you can still hear me. The internet is bugging out. Best Dumfries replacement, I guess you mean I'd go for Bastoni. Merit, Ederson or Ter Stegen. If it's from those 3, I'd go for Ter Stegen. I wanted to go with Trossard or Hakan, but I have Saka and no City players, so I ended up with Foden. Probably the right decision, Alan. I do like Çalhanoğlu, as you can see, I already have him in my team. Trossard is a bit of a risk. It's very hard to tell you who's going to play. It's going to be between him and Havertz, so maybe both of them. But yes, probably a good idea to go with the Man City player, which I'm going to captain. Wish me luck. You're going to captain Foden. Interesting. Man City are playing today, so not a bad captaincy choice. Is there any Man City leak so far? Let me see if there's any news on Man City or anything like that. Can you get a lineup? Oh, we have 15 minutes. There's a guy called FPL Tony on Twitter. He could have the Man City lineup. Can he get it before the deadline? I'd be so happy. Like, that would help us a lot if we can get the Man City lineup in the next few. Let's see. I'll keep an eye on that one. If we get any Man City lineup news before the deadline, that would be very, very interesting. Because I've basically also still not decided on like 4 players, Ashraf. Rom, Kunde, Saliba, and Di Lorenzo. Let me just confirm if you can hear me. Yeah. I have Rom, Kunde, Saliba, and Di Lorenzo. Should just me the last one. So I already have Rom, Kunde. I mean, Kunde is on the bench though. So I'd go for Cancelo instead of Kunde. Saliba and Di Lorenzo. I'd be tempted to go for the last one. I'd go for maybe Diaz from Man City, Molina from Atletico Madrid, but I'd probably choose Damian. Will Rodri play, says Johnny? I think he will play. I think Rodri will play. He could also get subbed off though. Depends. If Man City score like 3 goals in the first half, I'd not be surprised if Rodri went off at halftime. I have Bellingham, Sane, Mendes, Stengs, but if I do Galeno out, who should I bring him as a best replacement midfield? They already have Bellingham, Sane, Mendes, and Stengs. Okay, so you already have Bayern Munich cover, already have Sociedad, Real Madrid. Xavi Simons, Alvi. So Xavi Simons. If you can afford, I hope you can afford him. I think it's like 1 million more than that. Should I go for Alvarez and Kvaratskhelia to replace Haaland and Gordon? That sounds good, Liad. It's good, but it means I give up bringing back Haaland unless I use 2 free transfers in game week 5. I know what you mean, because I've just said that you can save at least 1 transfer in game week 5. Should I go for Alvarez? I think Alvarez and Kvaratskhelia will really do the business this week, so I'd go for it. I'd go for Alvarez and Kvaratskhelia. And then hopefully, I think Haaland will play in game week 5. There's that, but he's playing Leipzig, so I'll be hoping maybe they don't score that many goals. But yeah, I think Kvaratskhelia and Alvarez are going to do the business. If you want another Napoli midfield, if this can help, Zielinski is way cheaper than Kvaratskhelia. If that can allow you to bring back Haaland later on, maybe you can go for someone like a Zielinski from Napoli. Mbappe or Haaland? Mbappe for this week. Kane or Vinicius? Kane. Is Bellingham, Haaland, and Odegaard all out injured due to transfer out? Odegaard is definitely out. Bellingham, I think, is like 60% going to play, 40% not going to play. Haaland is 50-50. Both of the Haaland is in training, so there's that. But they're playing Chelsea this week. I'm playing my limitless and need another strike. I'm having Kane, Vinicius, and want another one. Will Haaland play? If you're playing a limitless Jacob, I wouldn't go for Haaland. I'd go for Alvarez. DeMarco safe? I don't think he's safe. I think Bastoni is the one who's safe, and Damian for this week. Porto City defender? I'd go for a City defender, DSJ. Best Wednesday captain? I'd go for Real Madrid player, Vinicius. Chananoglu or Mendes? I'd go for Chananoglu because he's also on penalties and they've gotten a couple so far. Junior Morata, Junior Breno. I'm confirming if there's any Man City team news. Still nothing. Come on. Give us the Man City team news. We don't have too long. Let me bring in my next midfielder. Of course, I'm going to go for an Arsenal player. I can't go without an Arsenal player. Welcome to my team, Bukayo Saka. Saka is in my team. Two good fixtures coming up, and Arsenal are not going to qualify this week, so they're probably not going to rest any players next time as well. So I think Saka is a good option. Saka is in my team. You're welcome, Breno. Rome or Bastoni? Rome. Alvi. Rome takes the corners. He takes the free kicks. He scored last time. He's already gotten an assist. He's very attacking. So Rome, and he's very cheap as well. Foden or Musiala? Oh, that's a tough one. For that question, Breno, it depends on the rest of your team. If you already have Alvarez, I'd go for Musiala. If you already have Kane, I'd go for Foden. Balance it out, a Man City player or a Bayern Munich player. But if you already have both, if you're just choosing, I'd seriously go for Musiala because I think Musiala is more guaranteed to start. Saka or Mendes? I mean, I think Mendes is the better option, but you're asking an Arsenal fan, so you know what to say. But if I take my Arsenal hat off, I'd go for Mendes. What is I show speed, Dan? I have Sane, Alvarez. You have Sane and Alvarez. Okay, let me see. You have Sane and Alvarez. Okay, if you have Sane and Alvarez, I would go for Musiala. Chananoglu or Rodri? Chananoglu, Foden or Alvarez, Captain Alvarez. Wildcard active, says Abubakar. Kim. I really don't like the Bayern Munich midfield defense. Sorry, I think Galatasaray are going to score. The rest of the team looks good. I would consider maybe a Barcelona defender or an Atletico Madrid defender in place of Kim. Which team best remaining fixtures? I mean, they all have the same fixtures, but in terms of home and all that, I mean, I'd say the top teams, but the problem with the likes of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, they could be through by next game week. So 6, they could rest everyone. So I'm not going to consider those teams. Well, that's such a difficult question. Because also Newcastle have played 2 home games already. I'd be tempted to say PSG because they have 2 home fixtures, although those are very tough games that are coming up. I mean, Arsenal have 2 home fixtures. I'm going to say Arsenal because they're playing Lens and Sevilla at home. I don't think it's going to be easy, but in terms of the order of the play, match day 4 and 5, they have home games. So I'm going to go for Arsenal. And let me say, that's tough. I don't think many teams have easier fixtures. Let me say Barcelona because Barcelona will also play Royal Antwerp. Do you think Thuram starts? I wouldn't say though, Jay. I wouldn't say so. Deadline is over. Hurry up, says Bosla. I'm trying to do many things at the same time, bro. I'm thinking of captaining Foden. I don't think is a bad captain. I could select Mendes or Zielinski. I don't know who instead of Guashila. So in game week 5, I'll replace Lautaro to get Haaland. Yeah, I think that is better, Liad. You're welcome. Lewandowski to Vinicius. Yeah. Bellingham, is it fine? Is a doubt. It's 60-40% is going to start. Is City lineup revealed? No leaks yet. Unfortunately, they're probably these things. You're going to get an answer to that question literally 5 minutes after the deadline or something stupid like that. No team is there. What do you think of Scott McTominay? Says Abubakar. I don't like the Man United assets. If you have to go for Man United player, I'd go for Bruno. Final team for now: Kane, Alvarez, Lewandowski, Siemens, Thuram, Kimmich, Sane, Lorenzo, Bastoni, Kunde. Kunde is on the bench, FIFA bots. Kunde is on the bench. I'd go for Christensen instead if you want a Barcelona defender. Second one, Johnny. What goalkeeper do you recommend on Limitless? Ederson and Ter Stegen. Molina or Kim Min-jae or Diaz pick 2 says Danji. I'd go for Molina and Diaz. Let me go back to my team quickly. Next midfielder, I am going to go for, so yeah, Man City. I'm going to go for Foden in my team. Still 5 players to pick. My team is ready, don't worry. My team is ready. I'm just thinking whether to go for Bellingham or not. Yeah, I've decided. I'm not going to go for Haaland. I'm going to go for Real Madrid. Real Madrid, Rodrigo. Yep, that's the whole team that I'm revealing. I'm not going to reveal the other 4 players. Kane, Alvarez, Rodrigo, Çalhanoğlu, Saka, Foden, Cancelo, Rom, Di Lorenzo, Ramiro, Blaswich. I've gone for Kane, Alvarez, and Rodrigo. I've not gone with Haaland. Massive risk, but I feel like he might not play. Why Foden over Doku? Just because Doku started the other day, Konya. Just because Doku started and Foden didn't start, that's why. There's a chance they could both play, obviously, but I feel like Grealish could start this one. Bellingham will play, mark my word, says Baron. I have a feeling as well. I really have a bad feeling he's going to play. Haaland, I don't think he's going to play, but that one I feel like he's going to play. This is going to be so hard. Bellingham. Why Rodrigo over Vinicius? Because I can't afford Vinicius, Abubakar. Rice a good option. I've thought about him, Johnny. I've thought about him. If you can go for him, go for him. I feel like if he plays in the number 8 position, he's good. And he's already picked up assists and goals for Arsenal this season. But there's other players like Rodri or more like we expect more from them because they're more experienced in the Champions League and everything like that. So I'm trying to decide between Kimmich and Bellingham. I'm deciding whether to take out Bellingham and bring in Kimmich or just to keep Bellingham in the team. This is going to be so hard. You know what? I've decided I'm going to keep Bellingham. I'm too scared of going without him. I'm just going to keep him in the team. Bellingham. Let's see who takes the penalties. I think Zielinski takes the penalties for Napoli. Does he? Yeah, I'm just going to bring back Bellingham. I'm too scared to go without him. I have to take risks and have a backup for it. Yes, that's the thing. You also have to have a backup for your risks. Real Madrid. Bellingham, where are you? Yeah, I'm going to stick with Bellingham in my team. I'm going to post my final team in the community tab after this. If he doesn't play, too bad, man. Too bad. Date 888. All right, went for Mendes. He'll blank now, says Liad. Please don't say that. Although I've not gone for him in my team. Morato, Rodrigo. I'd go for Rodrigo. So yeah, let me put my final team on screen. Hopefully they deliver. I'm really hoping they deliver. Really hoping they deliver. Let me. I mean, I've taken out. I had Zielinski in my team. I've taken him out and brought back Bellingham. If Bellingham doesn't play, I'd be so mad because I feel like Zielinski is going to do something against Union Berlin. I am scared for this match day as well. I'm absolutely scared. FIFA bot is afraid for this match day. You and me both, bro. You and me both. Let's see my team. Yeah, my team is ready, so I'll show you my team right now. Kane, Alvarez, Rodrigo up front, midfield of Bellingham, Foden, and Saka. Let me put it on this screen. Yeah, it's already on that screen. Defensively, I've gone for Saliba, Lewis, Cancelo, and Rom. Blaswich, Ramiro, Chananoglu, Di Lorenzo, Kimmich. Kimmich is still in my team. I've taken out Zielinski for Bellingham. So that's my full team. I've captained Alvarez, Kane, Alvarez, and Rodrigo up front. I've taken out Haaland, Bellingham, Foden, Saka, Chananoglu, and Kimmich in midfield. Saliba, Lewis, Cancelo, Rom, and Di Lorenzo defensively, Blaswich, and Ramiro. There's two players I really wanted to go for that I didn't go for, and I'm really scared. Ivanilson and Taremi, FC Porto, and also Zielinski. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the like button. If you have any questions for tomorrow and something like that, you can comment on this particular video and I'll answer your question. Thank you guys for watching. Catch up with you on the next one.